How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today, and welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time it's going to be on the 2024 animated Christmas fantasy comedy film, and that is That Christmas. This is directed by first-time director Simon Otto, and this is based off the book by Richard Curtis, whom he also wrote this film, and we all know Richard Curtis for being the writer of various movies, including Love Actually, Four Weddings and a Funeral, and the Bridget Jones movies, and also being one of the few writers of the TV show Mr. Bean. And in this film, this is basically set in England, in this town, which is Wellington-on-Sea, where the townsfolk in this town are about to prepare themselves for an unforgettable Christmas. But when a snowstorm alters, which turns out to be the biggest snowstorm ever in history, it alters everyone's plans, including Santa himself. So that's pretty much the story of That Christmas. Now, this is the second animated film from this animation studio known as Locksmith Animation, in which they made an animated feature debut back in 2021 with the movie Ron's Gone Wrong, which that film really surprised me because I did not know a whole lot going into that film, but I was surprised I had a really great time with that movie. So I was really intrigued to see what they were going to be doing the second time around with this movie here. And what I didn't realize as well was, like I said, this is based off a book, which I knew nothing about. So I went into in the movie knowing nothing about the book itself. And this film came out on Netflix around Christmas time around the globe. Although I didn't check it out straight away when it came out because I was quite busy at the time. But I did check out this movie on Christmas Eve last year. And after viewing this movie at home, unfortunately, I wouldn't say this is like Locksmith's next great work they've done here since Ron's Gone Wrong, because I legitimately thought this was just an okay animated Christmas film here. The biggest problem I do have with this movie is the story, because there are numerous plot lines that goes on here and there within this movie, and I felt like the film was just kind of juggled all over the place through numerous plot lines that goes on within this movie with these characters that we do follow within this movie. Like you've got one with this kid named Danny, whom he's had a pretty difficult life of his own because he deals with loneliness and he never gets to see his deadbeat dad, and he rarely has enough time with his mom because she works at a hospital, and he's trying to overcome his shyness, in which he wants to ask out this girl that he has a crush on that goes to his school. And then it jumps into this character named Sam, whom she has a twin sister named Charlie, and she's pretty worried over her sister due to her rebellious nature, and she thinks that she'll find herself on Santa's naughty list. And then jumps into this woman named Miss Trapper, whom she's a strict school teacher, and she deals with loneliness as well. And we see her growing an emotional bond with Danny and all of that, since they both deal with loneliness with their lives. And then it jumps into these group of kids who want to celebrate Christmas in a different way instead of doing the same old tradition they do every single year at Christmas. And then it jumps into the parents of these kids who are trying to go to a wedding, but they find themselves in a bad situation. And from all of that goes on within this movie, again, it was really hard for me to catch up and really hard to get into like what was going on within this movie. But the film does tend to have heart to it, which I thought it did deliver in the slightest pretty well. And it did manage to stay strong here when it came to some of that. And when it comes to these characters themselves, the film barely has enough time to showcase every single one of them through their personalities, but the voice work in the film is solid. Like, you've got some talented cast here. Like, you've got Brian Cox and Bill Nighy and Fiona Shaw, which I thought everyone in the film did a solid job for their voice work. And the animation itself is pretty nice for a movie like this. Like, we get to see like the world building of Wellington-on-Sea, and like every single detail has been put into this movie, since this is like a bright, colorful like Christmas movie and all that, which I found that to be pretty unique. Yeah. But in the end, guys, That Christmas, I just legitimately thought this was just an okay animated Christmas feature here. It's certainly one I wouldn't find myself ever revisiting again in the future or anything like that. And and if I would have to recommend like an animated Christmas movie, the best ones I would recommend are either Arthur Christmas or even The Nightmare Before Christmas or anything like that. But if you're a fan of like animated films that's set at Christmas, or if you're a fan of like the book that this film is based off or anything like that, this one I can definitely see will definitely be a good treat for the children here. So that's pretty much all I'd say about That Christmas. I'm gonna give That Christmas 3 out of 5. Like I said, it's certainly not a bad watch yet, but again, it's one I don't find myself ever revisiting again in the future or anything like that. And I would suggest like checking out like other animated films that set during Christmas that I would say that are much better than this. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After I Saw review on That Christmas, and let me know what you think of this movie if you've seen this already or if you just recently checked this one out. Did you really enjoy this one, or was this not your cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Fogan's Media Corner signing off.